Hello and welcome back to Traffic Talks. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be much shorter than the rest of them because it kind of just came to me. So what happened was I was sitting doing my morning writings on Saturday and I ended up talking to my sister about her own writing. So what I was doing was basically just journaling, kind of like a morning pages vibe. And by the time I finished, she had come to talk to me regarding her own story that she was working on at the time and explaining a whole bunch of things to me. One thing that she kept tripping herself up about was the fact that her characters didn't have names. So she didn't want to do a fan fiction vibe, which is kind of like what I enjoy doing. She wanted to have her own characters and she had written out characteristics and things, but she just couldn't figure out names to use with the characters. So one thing I told her to do was use replacement names. She's really into Star Wars. I said use names of the characters that have the same attributes as your characters, just as a placeholder temporarily, so that eventually when you are finished with it, you can go back and then make up your own name or whatever. This kind of sparked a whole 2-hour thing between her, myself, and my mother, where we just started talking about all the things that were happening. And we had literally opened up a Instagram account, Gmail account, and came up with a name and logo for something exciting that we are going to be working on that will be coming excitingly quickly in the future. And it's something that she loves. All of this happened just because of a conversation. So that was what I wanted to talk about. Going for your dreams and just starting. Looking at myself as an example, this podcast was exactly one of those things. I started it spur of the moment, no equipment, no practical experience, not even an idea moving forward, just knowing that it was something that I wanted to do because I loved it. And here we are. Consistency is back on the field, we're going for it. I'm getting the Instagram sorted for it. I'm moving forward slowly but surely. But if I hadn't started it when I did, I wouldn't be as far as I am today with it. And that's kind of the message of today. Just going for what you want. There are certain things like just being in the right place at the right time, or having a certain know-how or instinct for things. That is always a good sign, especially when it comes to things that you will be putting out in the world. Having that confidence to just try, even if it's not confidence in being sure that it will succeed. Trying is halfway there, because then you've just found one way to do something that isn't going to work, and the next time you try, okay, that one didn't work, we're going to try something else and we're going to keep pushing. That is the beauty of it. Learning from your mistakes. A lot of times people think, oh, but I don't have the money for it. Oh, I don't have this for it. I literally started doing this with nothing but my cell phone and headphones that came with said cell phone. You don't need a lot. I could have edited it on my cell phone, the very same cell phone and earphones that I was recording it on. But fortunately, I've had a laptop for a few years. Free applications that could be downloaded and used for it were available. And that was what I use. It's still what I use today. Still using my headphones, still editing on my laptop, still opening free accounts and using it. That is what I'm doing. The other extra effort I put into planning what I'm going to say for my podcast, recording and re-recording if need be, taking the time to edit it so that it can be better than what it was. Those are the small things that improve every single time. And also, the first few times you do it, it takes so long to do it. Nowadays, I can edit it much faster. I can upload it much faster. I get into this podcasting zone much easier as well. And it's basically like building habits every time. You just reinforce it. And you also notice small things. Like, for example, when I'm recording, I will hear myself enunciate something too hard or make a funny sound in between somewhere where it shouldn't be. And I'll be able to stop myself, go back, re-say what I already said without adding those unnecessary things in, which just makes the editing process so much easier on myself. So you learn these tips and tricks going forward. You don't need a lot of things to just go for what you want. There are so many YouTubers and podcasters and Instagrammers that are doing things with a basic cell phone. There are YouTubers who record everything on their cell phone and upload them. There are people like Sibu Mpanza, who I remember watching and was like, I'm recording this guy's on like a crappy half-broken iPhone, and then he edits it and uploads it, and he is huge as a South African creative and creator, and flying overseas and just doing all these amazing things. And he's honest, and it's incredible what he started off with. There are other examples of people who, like me, do the podcasting with a bare minimum, who do YouTube with a bare minimum, who do Instagram with nothing but the free applications and their cell phone camera, and they look incredible. So it's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you've got right now. And the longer it takes you to start, it's going to take you even longer to improve. I started months ago and I'm much better off doing what I do now compared to back then when I started. So it's a small step every single day, sometimes week, sometimes month. If you're doing something like this where you podcast once a week, you'll do it at a certain time and then figure it out as you go. YouTube, you maybe record a little bit every day. It's up to you to do what you do. But as long as you're improving slowly over time, you're better off. So that was just my little epiphany for this week. Just going for it. Just starting is my message for this week. I mean, it's so close to the end of the month for August, and like I said, my cutoff date is 1st September when I want to launch my Instagram account for this podcast, and that is literally 8-9 days away. And Spring Day, which is the 1st of September, is a whole new start for me once again, because I love that feeling. So being able to just get a whole new fresh thing going for the rest of the year is incredible, especially after the year that has just flown by with all the craziness of COVID that we've all had to suffer through. Try and make the best of it, because you never know what's going to happen in the future, and that's the beauty of the unknown. It could go pear-shaped like COVID brought this year, or it can just be like the best thing ever. I want to actually use this year as the cocoon. You start off as this little worm, you weave your cocoon and you hide for a while, and once you emerge, you're a beautiful butterfly with wings. Cocoon yourself, work on yourself, become better, and emerge a beautiful butterfly. Do it. Make like Nike and just do it. Just start. Go for it. The song of this week, continuing with the cocoon theme of this, Upgrade You by Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. Upgrade you. Okay? You do you, boo. Upgrade you. Thanks for listening to this craziness, and have a brilliant week. Love you. Bye.